Good evening.
Good evening.
The Tweeds County Board of Education meeting is now called to order. Today is Tuesday, March the 10th, 2020, and the time 6:02 p.m. Please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance in a moment of silence. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Please join me in a moment of silence. Thank you. You may be seated. At this time, I entertain a motion to approve the agenda for tonight's meeting, March the 10th, 2020.
Madam Chair,
Yes.
if we could, if I could ask if we could go into executive session, first, tonight, return back.
And that would be for personnel and legal reasons.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, our superintendent has requested that we enter into executive session first, and that, you will do that first on our business agenda. Would that be before, or you need to do that now? You would like to request that we do that now?
If we could go into executive session.
Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
Our superintendent has requested that we enter into executive session for personnel and legal matters.
Yes, ma'am.
Is there a motion to, do that at this time?
I'll make that motion. Second.
Okay, the motion has been made by Ms. Stokes and seconded by Ms. Blackshear to enter into executive session for personnel and legal matters. Any discussion? All in favor, please raise your hand. All right, that motion carries unanimously.
Madam Chair, point of privilege, may we also approve or accept the agenda with the necessary change prior to moving into executive session?
Okay, we'd like to make that in the form of a motion, Mr. Harris, please.
Sure. Madam Chair, I'm motioning that we accept our agenda with the modification of entering into executive session first.
Okay, you've heard Mr. Harris's motion. Is there a second?
Second.
Seconded by Ms. Blackshear. Any discussion? All in favor, please raise your hands. That motion carries unanimously. So our agenda has been approved and we are entering into executive session. And we shall return. Is there a motion to return to regular session from executive session?
I'll make that motion.
Second.
The motion's been made by Mr. Rouse and seconded by Ms. Blackshear to return to regular session from executive session. All in favor, please raise your hand. That motion carries unanimously. Moving on with our agenda, the next thing is item 5, and that is approval of the minutes for February the 27th and March the 5th. The BOE work session for February 27th and March 5th for BOE call session. Is there a motion to approve the minutes as presented?
Madam Chair, I make the motion to approve the BOE work session and the call session.
The motion has been made by Ms. Blackshear. Is there a second? Seconded by Mr. Rouse. Any discussion? Once again, the motion has been made by Ms. Blackshear and seconded by Mr. Rouse to approve the minutes of our February 27th BOE work session and March the 5th BOE call session. All in favor, please raise your hand. That's 4-4. Those against? Is there one abstain? Did you know that? There's one abstention, so that motion carries 4-4 and one abstention. All right, our next item will be item 6, and this is Ms. Blackshear, she's, if she will give us an ethics statement.
Thank you. In accordance with regulations set forth by the Georgia Ethics Commission, it is the duty of every board member to avoid both conflict of interest and interest of such conflict scheduled to come before us on our proposed agenda. Does any board member have any known conflict of interest? Seeing none, Madam Chair, we will proceed.
Thank you, and, District 12, you want to do it later? Okay, we do not have anyone who has signed up for public participation at this time. So, we'll move on to item 8, and that is our superintendent's comments and announcements.
Madam Chair, Mr. Vice Chair, fellow board members, it's a great day to be in Tweaks. We thank you for your diligence tonight with us as we moved our executive session to the first part of our meeting. Thank you for our stakeholders for being here with us. Tonight, we would like to make you aware of one of our longtime administrators and staff members of Tweeds County Public School District, Mr. Hosea Blash. He passed on this week, and the services will be on Saturday at 1:00 p.m. at the Jeffersonville Elementary School Gymnasium, where he served as a principal at one time. So we will be there to assist the family with those services on Saturday. Madam Chair, I don't have a lot of announcements today because the principals will be giving us an update with activities, so I won't invade their territory this evening. Thank you for being here with us this evening.
Okay, all right.
And we have an announcement coming from Ms. Blackshear.
Yes, thank you.
Just want to tell us about District 12 GSBA.
Yes. At this time, I would just like to say, thank you to our Board of Education. Of course, Board of Education Appreciation Week is next week, but guess what? We're celebrating the whole month. So I do have a token as your District 12 Director. Don't shake your head yet. It's just a little small token just to say thank you for all your hard work and dedication as board members. We have some tough decisions to make sometimes, but we make them what's best for the children. Thank you. And also want to say congratulations to our system for, we stand out, I brag on our graduation rate, of course, and our CCRPI results. They're not where we want to be, but they're definitely improving. So that's kudos to Twiggs County, so thank you, thank you. So that's all. I would just like to say thank you to our great, wonderful board, and keep working hard. Together we stand.
All right, very good.
Thank you.
Thank you.
So I want to tell you about somebody slick. So Ms. Blackshear came in right before the meeting, and I heard the clinking, and she had a bag, and I said, "What is you got clinking in that bag?" I heard it clink, you know, just like a child. I just can't stand you. I had no idea. She said, "Oh, it's just a glass or something I had in my bag I forgot to take out." She just played it off, just like a pro. So anyway, that was wonderful.
Can't leave our
That's right.
superintendent, Ms. Dixon. I want you to drink some coffee too, okay?
Okay.
That's fine.
So thank you
Oh,
for all
thank
you do.
Thank you.
So,
And thank you, staff.
all right, thank you for that, Ms. Blackshear. With that being said, we're gonna move on to our business agenda, and the first item on our business agenda is item A, and that will be student awards and recognitions. Dr. Ramsey's going to present, and this is, an information item. Thank you, Dr.
Well, good evening.
Good evening.
To our board chair, our co-chair, to Superintendent Dixon, to all of our stakeholders. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And it's always a great opportunity. I'm always excited to recognize our students. And tonight we have with us our students from Twiggs County High School. And these students are being recognized because of their place in the literary competition. Our literary coach is Miss Connie Long, and she's here with us as well. So at this time, we want to recognize Miss Ayla Burke. She placed second. She's not here tonight. She had another engagement. But Ayla placed second. In dramatic oral presentation, she performed Pearls of Wisdom by D.M. Lawson. We also have Michaela Foster, and she had a track meet today, but she placed third in humorous oral presentation. She performed Ways of Breaking Up by Texting. Am I right? So that should have been really humorous. We also have Miss Kayla Oakes, Miss Victoria Morris, and Michaela Foster again. They placed third in the girls' trio. I have Victoria and Kayla here, and they performed Roar by Katy Perry, is that right? And Oh Music by Lolo Mason. So, and their parents are here with us tonight, along with Miss Connie Long, she's here as well. And we appreciate Miss Long for all that she does with our students. And Ayla will go to state on Saturday. She will perform at GMC in Millersville. So we're looking forward to some great results from that as well. So
I try to get Mr. Rouse to come, he's camera shy. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Congratulations. Wonderful.
Next on the agenda is the spring activities overview. And what you have in your folder is a copy, it's a calendar for March, April, and May. This takes us to the end of the school year. And just, I want to note a few things on your calendar. If you look at the month of March, you'll notice that we do have Saturday school that starts on Saturday, which is the 14th, and we will have 5 Saturdays of Saturday school. You would also notice on there we have FAFSA night, and we also have a FAFSA day. We have our first FAFSA night tomorrow, so that's noted on the agenda for March. We also have our Star Teacher Banquet and our 21st Century Leadership Banquet. That's noted on there, along with some scholarship deadlines. That would be for March.
Dr. Ramsey,
Yes,
what
ma'am.
grade levels will be the Saturday school for the middle?
All grades,
All 8?
I think,
I mean,
right,
excuse me, 6 through 12.
6 through 12. Right now we have about 25 middle schoolers.
Okay.
Those applications have been returned, and we have, I think it's about 15 high school students right now. So they are coming in. If you look at the month of April, and you'll notice on there, we have our CNA pinning ceremony, and that we have on there April 16th as that date. We have a history day, and you remember we had some students that were recognized at our last meeting. Those students will go to state on April 18th, and that's in LaGrange. We also have our Georgia milestone, you see that as well. With the superintendent's honors reception, which will be held April 30th. And we have in the planning, Central Georgia Technical College dual enrollment night. We will get you that date at a later time. And for the month of May, if you still take notes, we do have one scholarship deadline in the month of May, along with our honors program for both the middle and the high school.
All right, thank
Thank
you,
you.
Dr. Ramsey, for that. That's great.
Good evening. To those who don't know, I am the principal of Jeffersonville Elementary School. I'm elated to be here, and I'm just happy for the opportunity to serve in this great district. To the board, Twiggs County Board of Education and Superintendent, thank you for this opportunity.
Thank you.
Events that we will be having, of course, Saturday school, just like the middle and the high school. We have approximately 40 kids that are signed up at this time, with 5th grade being the highest. So, it'll probably be some filing in, you know, we're not gonna turn them away, but right now we have about 40 kids. On the 18th of March, we will have our PBIS celebration. On the 25th of March, we will have our third 9 weeks honor day program. In April, on April 2nd, we will have a father-daughter, mother-son dance at 6. So, we hope that will be a great success, and we know that's gonna be a great success.
Okay.
It was asked for, so we're gonna deliver that.
Yes.
Next spring break, on the 16th of April, we have the dental bus will be here. On April 20th, we will have a Georgia Milestone pet rally. So that will be, and we're inviting everybody to come out for that. We have some few surprises that we're not gonna let out, so you might wanna attend that. Isn't that right? That's right. And then, in May, of course, Field Day is the 21st of May. We have our celebrations for pre-K on May 14th, and we're gonna do them all that day. Pre-K will be at 8:30, kindergarten will be at 10 a.m. 1st grade through 4th grade will be at 1. And then we will have the 5th grade at 5:30 p.m. So we just put them all on one day to kind of be consistent with that. Tentative May Day, we're trying to bring that back. I heard that was a great success, and the community enjoyed that. We're just trying to toggle some dates. Right now, we're kind of looking at a weekend date, just to give the community something to do and something different. So we kind of just, by the end of the week, we should have that date. But that's something that we're looking at.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
All right, thank you for that. Thank you for those updates. All right, our next item is item C, and that is the approval of fiscal year 21 supplement and salary schedules. This is an action item.
Good evening, Board Chair, Vice Chair, Superintendent Dixon. According to our budget calendar, we are scheduled tentatively to make approval of the salary schedules and administrative supplements. We've had some great productive conversations around what this may look like going forward. And so what we currently have in front of you to the stakeholders is the current scheduled supplements to your left, and on the right is what is being proposed. And so as we look at this particular document, Mr. Bass, you can definitely keep strolling through that. We have organized by executive leadership, directors, and school level. A highlight in this is to look at the potential budget impact. If you can scroll just a little, Mr. Bass. Thank you, right there. A key point out, there's asterisks by the Director Title 1, 2, and rural and low income. And what that's just saying that in the event that someone holds that position, that we will consider or look at that as an opportunity for a supplement in that event. But currently, we do not look at it as one person be serving us all, but it is an opportunity for that. So that actually just give us a guideline to understand how to address that issue. Everything else has been pretty much consistent from last year. And we also have some cost saving that has been embedded into this at this particular time. On the school level administration, currently the band director is vacant. We have numbers outside of the assistant principal and also for the middle and high school indicating the number that may be budgeted for next year. And again, the note at the asterisk, if one person serves director, they will only receive one of the supplements. So any questions, concerns, or comments about what we have before us tonight? have two more, but you wanna take it just this one, ask the questions, concerns about it, and we move to the other two?
This one first. What's your recommendation?
Madam Chair, as we've had a budget workshop and we've had opportunity for input, and based upon your input, this is the item that we've put together. So we will seek approval for the 2021 proposed budget supplement.
All right, you've heard the presentation, and you've heard our superintendent's recommendation. Is there a motion to approve the schedule of supplements for FY '21 for executive leadership as presented?
I'll make that motion.
The motion has been made by Ms. Stokes. Is there a second? Anybody need any more time? All right. Mr. Dixon, that motion fails, so there's no movement on that one.
So we go to the next one. The classified salary schedule. Yep, that would be it. All right, so classified, with the proposed classified salary schedule for 2021. In the past, we have provided a plethora of sheets for each individual position, but in this particular instance, to make it simpler, we have put it on one sheet. The only change to notate is the mechanic 1. And just for clarity, mechanic 1, mechanic 2 is distinguished because mechanic 1 would be an individual that would have supervisory responsibilities and duties or directorship. And mechanic 2 would be those who are being supervised or in the department as a mechanic. And so what has taken place, we've done some market analysis and ensure that we can recruit the right individual if we needed to and stay in line with the comparables have kind of provided to us. And we have increased the mechanic 1 range from 32,000 to 45,000. That is the only key change that has been made to this particular schedule. Are there any questions, concerns, comments about this schedule?
Good gracious.
We don't have questions, Mr. Dixon, on the recommendation. You recommend it?
Me?
Yes, sir.
Recommendation,
What's your recommendation regarding the proposed classified salary schedule for FY '21?
seek for approval, Madam Chair.
Thank you. You've heard the presentation and you've heard our superintendent's recommendation. Is there a motion to approve the classified salary schedule for FY '21?
Madam Chair, I motion that we accept the classified salary schedule for 2020-2021.
Motion's been made by Mr. Harris. Is there a second? Seconded by Mr. Rouse. Is there any discussion? All in favor, please raise your hand. That motion carries unanimously.
last one is in reference to the athletic supplements for the middle school sports and the high school sports. There has not been any changes from last year. Well, are there any questions, concerns, around the athletic supplements as they currently stand?
Seek approval, Madam Chair.
Thank you, sir. You've seen the presentation, you've heard our superintendent's recommendation. Is there a motion to approve, the Twiggs County athletic supplements for FY '21? That will be high school and middle school sports. The motion has been made by Mr. Rouse. Is there a second?
Second.
Seconded by Mr. Harris. Any discussion? All in favor, please raise your hand. That motion carries unanimously. Any other motions regarding our supplements that we discussed this evening? All right. Thank you. We're gonna move on to the next item, and that will be an information item, and that is a cybersecurity update. Mr. Basley.
Good evening, Board Chair, Vice Chair, Board members. I have been asked to present some cybersecurity updates to you as it concerns for the nation and for the district itself. So to start, we'll just do an overview. We'll cover some background knowledge of cybersecurity, what the risks are, where we are, and some of the next steps that we need to take. So firstly, what is cybersecurity? Basically, it's just the standards and technologies that we use to protect the assets of an organization, us being our district, our schools. So, what are the issues for K-12? Cyber attacks are becoming more common in K-12. In 2018, 119 schools reported, and I emphasize reported, 122 different cybersecurity cases. In San Diego school system, they lost 500,000 student and staff records. That's a great impact. Those included social security numbers, birth dates, phone numbers, and health information. I'm gonna give you guys a copy of this as well, but in here we have a link to a cybersecurity map. This actual map is designed for K-12 schools. And what it does is shows you active cases that has gone on throughout the country. So you can see right here, since 2016, 791 reported cases. My estimation is this is very, very low, only because it's the reported. You have some cyber cases that people just don't report. These are just bigger issues that has come about. Where my map at? Of course, you don't want to show me my map. Like I said, you guys have this, but this map, it shows you. Okay. So you didn't want to show me. Anyway, this particular map, I actually had it pulled up, but this particular map shows you across the country different things. And I really wanted to highlight Houston County actually had a reported cybersecurity act. They had some health information of students taken out. Why are things like this happening? Breaches like this are happening because criminals look for weak systems. School systems are on that level, mainly because of budget restrictions and resources. When you look at the K-12 arena, we have what we would consider fresh data. We have kids that doesn't have any credit histories or anything like that, so their social security numbers are prime for attack. If you look at, on average, on the black market, social security numbers for students are range from $250 to $350. Compare that to an adult, only $10. So you can see the big difference that we have there. So how does these breaches happen in K-12? The main way is phishing attacks. Basically what a phishing attack is a criminal will send an email posing to be the superintendent, the technology director, or whoever, asking you for some sort of information. Click on the link, it gets into your computer, gets your passwords, put key loggers in, trace what you're doing, basically trying to get a key inside of your computer, thus the network itself. It's estimated that 1 in every 3 emails contains phishing links. So that means if we get 300 emails a day, 100 of those has some type of phishing activity going on. So we have to be very, very careful. Excuse me. The next way is ransomware. No longer are criminals actually actively trying to take control of your computers. Basically what they're doing now is getting access to your computer and installing a software that basically locks down your computer. It locks it down, they have a code. Then basically, like it says, they ransom you, ask you for money to get to your data. It's very, very common. In a school in New York, this happened, they end up having to pay $100,000 estimated to just unlock their data, get access back to what they have. On top of that, they ended up having to pay $2 million for all the closures, legal fees, and to close up the holes and the gaps that they found in their system. The third way, like I said, impersonating an employee, sending an email posing to be the technology director, the superintendent, asking for information, people giving that information, and then they're what are they looking for? Again, they're looking for those student records. They're incredibly valuable. They're also looking for computing power. If I can get into a network, I can then leverage those computers to further my criminal activity. I can have extra computers to send out those emails and stuff like that to try to get in. And of course, then they're looking for financial data as well. So, what are some barriers to securing a network? The first one is inadequate resources. That's funding, staffing, and training. Training being a very, very big one. Also, it's inconvenient. No one likes security. No one would like to put in their password for every website that they go to, or every time they pick up their phone. They don't want it, so that's why we have touch IDs on phones now, just because it's more convenient. Security is very inconvenient. The solutions are too expensive. It costs to have firewalls and switches and all these other things in place for that security. We also have lack of knowledge. Basically, every day, someone is sitting at their computer trying to come up with a new sophisticated way to get into your system. We really can't prepare for that. We can't prepare for what we don't see. You just have to have some type of security protocols in place. And also you have what's funny called the ostrich or algorithm. Putting your head in the ground, hoping nothing happens. Happens a lot. What are we doing to fight it? Right now, we're implementing a lot of the USDA, the United States Department of Education protocols. We're putting in audits. We're looking at all of our logs that happens every day. We're creating policies, putting those policies in place. One of the big policies that we have, every 29 days in the district, we have to change our passwords. None of our staff likes it. Nobody. But it has to be done. My thinking on that is, at least if a criminal gets that password, they only have 29 days to use it. Then they have to start over, attack. So that's basically why we try to do that. We back up data every night. If something does happen, we can go back, have something we can go back on and replace that data. Also, we have a list of other things that you can go through and see. One of the things that we've done in the past is started to isolate our data. Back in 2014, I transitioned our email over to Gmail. This really is helpful because it allows us to leverage the security protocols that they already have. They're one of the most secure sites in the world. They have certification for every security company out there. We also did the same thing for Infinite Campus. We're hosted, so all of our student data is secure on theirs outside of our facilities. So anything happens here, we're not really liable for that. We're at less liability for it. Some of the things we've done, we've purchased some firewalls. We've purchased some software that automatically patches and updates all of our systems, just trying to make sure all of those vulnerabilities are cleared up. That happens every day. Every time a computer logs on, goes to that system, makes sure that all of the patches are there. We also made some purchases through E-Rate as well. What are the biggest risks that we face here in the district? The biggest risk is humans, us. By a show of hands, how many of us write our passwords down? Now, Dr. Ramsey. Think about this. How secure is your house if you give them the key? Most people, that's why this picture right here is very important. It's not showing, but most people do this. They put their password, stick a note onto the computer, and it's right there. So if I pick up your computer, I have a key to get into the system. There's no security protocol out there that's gonna be that secure. If you're already in the house, no needs to have an alarm, right? So that's the biggest thing. Our staff are the most likely to click on those phishing links and stuff like that. Also, the use of USBs, storage sites like Google Drive, that's a big biggie. If you put student data on a flash drive, walk outside, drop it. We've just suffered a cybersecurity breach. Because anybody could pick that up, have access to the student information. So one of the things that I've tried to do is try to really minimize the use. Pretty much, I try to only let my administrators use USBs, but that's still a big loophole there. Right now, we currently don't have a centralized antivirus software. This is probably one of the biggest for me because again, if you have the key, there's no reason to have an alarm. If we're really secure in-house, but we have a lot of laptops, a lot of cell phones going out of the district. Take your computer home, pick up a virus, you don't know it's there, bring it back in the network, that virus spreads. Y'all see what I'm saying? So it's one of those things right there. Also, our networking closets. This is something that I've been trying to fix every single year. This is very scary to me. These are our networking closets. They're actually, at the middle high school, they're in the classrooms. They're open. Anybody at any time could go in these classrooms. I'm thankful that we have really good kids. But this is as you can see, they're open. In the middle of classrooms, they're in the middle of each hall. This is something that needs to be taken care of immediately. It scares me every time I go in there. Also, we don't have any network segmentation. I'll let you read through that. That's a lot of technical mumbo jumbo that doesn't mean anything to you. What's next? The first thing we need to do is start to look at some budgeting numbers for these things that I've highlighted. You can see those numbers here. They are extensive. But again, that's something else that we need to do. We also need to have an enforceable refresh cycle. Standard is we refresh all computer equipment every 3 to 5 years. All equipment will fail. All equipment will become obsolete. All equipment will have security gaps after that 3 to 5 years. So we need to really start to look at that. And then the last thing is looking at training. Training our staff to recognize those cybersecurity concerns and all that stuff like that. We also have another side. Oh, I almost forgot the best part for y'all. In the coming weeks, I'll actually have Homeland Security, Department of Homeland Security come down and do a risk assessment of all our systems. They'll do about a two-week battery of tests, both remote and on site, and they'll give us a report. I'm not looking forward to that report, but I think it's something that we all need to have so we can truly see what we're dealing with. One of the last things, I applied for a grant through the Governor's Office of Student Achievement, we were awarded a $15,000 grant to put some money towards these security efforts. I think that's big. I think we really need to start looking at that. I'm planning to use that money to fix some of the things that I showed you, especially those cabinets, and to leverage some of that money with our E-rate application that's coming up. E-rate gave us a 1-year use it or lose it dollar amount, and you can see that on there. I'm planning, we have to have a 10% match of those dollars, so I'll try to use some of that money for that as well. Some of the, on the back of your packet, we have some questions. I put those questions in there for you. Some of the things that you might need as a board member, think about, have questions about, going forward, just to kind of abreast yourself more on this subject. Do we have any questions?
Thank you for the grant. All right,
Thank
for the
you.
grant.
Thank you, Mr. Basil.
Thank you.
Thank you for that. Our next item will be the district request. This is an action item.
Yeah.
This is
Madam Chair, I seek approval.
You see the district request before you, and field trips, fundraisers, and facility request. Is there a motion to approve the district request?
I made the motion to approve the district request.
The motion's been made by Ms. Blackshear. Is there a second? Seconded by Mr. Rouse. Any discussion? All in favor for approving the district request for 3/10/20 presented on that day? Please raise your hands. 4-4, that motion carries unanimously. Thank you. All right, the next part will be the personnel discussion that we had and legal discussions that we had in our executive session. And we'll just go through the list here. Okay. The first is, okay, the first will be, so start here. The first is the retirement action for employee 344. Is there a motion to approve that retirement / that would be also resignation there as well?
I make the motion to approve.
The motion has been made by Ms. Blackshear. Is there a second? Seconded by Mr. Rouse. All in favor, please raise your hand. That motion passes unanimously. All right, and the next one will be employee this will be an appointment, 4283, will be at the bottom of your page. Pre-K sub to full-time. Is there a motion to approve that recommendation? Please let me know if you have any more time. Okay, that motion is there's no motion there, so there's no motion, no movement on that. Okay, the next, item, the next will be candidate 4371, 4374. Is there a motion to approve that recommendation? Last call, any motions to approve the recommendation 4374? Okay, there is no motion there. Okay, the next one will be, CID, it's labeled NA, but that will be our JROTC, Junior ROTC instructor.
I move that motion.
The motion's been made by Ms. Blackshear, is there a second?
Second.
Seconded by Mr. Rouse. All in favor, please raise your hand. That motion carries unanimously. Okay. And the next one will be, EID 3230, under legal contractual matters and other business. Is there a motion to, approve that action?
Chair, make a motion to approve that action.
The motion has been made by Mr. Rouse, is there a second?
Second.
Seconded by Ms. Blackshear. All in favor, please raise your hand. That motion carries unanimously. And then, the next one will be under, renewals, and that will be, Twigs County High School principal renewal. Is there a motion to approve?
I approve that motion.
The motion has been made by Ms. Blackshear, is there a second? Seconded by Mr. Rouse. All in favor, please raise your hand. That motion carries unanimously. Have I missed anything? Anyone that I've missed that you've seen? That fits everything? All right, that completes our personnel recommendations for this evening. Is there a motion to adjourn?
I move that motion.
The motion's been made by Ms. Blackshear, is there a second? Seconded by Mr. Rouse, all in favor, please raise your hand. That motion carries.